mobile loan bonyeza *522# au tumia KCB app leo. KCB, for people, for better. Sheria na masharti kutumika. Inadhibitiwa na Benki Kuu ya Kenya.
Chamgejitab Kalendina mang'ung'ui tugul ole imite ko ibaibai ak igere ketesiet nebo Kass TV. Itagaten logoiwekab emet kigurena Jacqueline Arusein. Kaibet tabanwekwak biik sogolu kosubkei ak nyasutietab oret nekabit eng komosta nebo Bangala, Kisumu Ndogo eng oretab Kipsitet Muhoroni eng county nebo Kericho nekangorepkei lorit ak Nissan matatu nekamite bichotok. Yarurwechin koindo sirindenyo Robert Siele.
Kosubkei ak ripot nebo polis koibet akinet akomildagei chechang matatu noton kan kereach akong'emak akoib kobet sobet biik 9 cheboto kwonyik 4 ak murenik 5 chekamiten en Nissan inoton. Mwae logoiwek kole katokyingei Muhoroni kong'eten Kipsitet lori noton yekan koit komosta nebo Kokuta Bangala kan kobet akinet lorit akobakach lenenyin akotokyigei garit nebo matatu.
Hii gari ilikuwa natoka huku na Nissan ilikuwa natoka huku saidi ya Muhoroni, ilikuwa inaenda Kisumu. Sasa idhani nilikuwa nimetoka huku. Sasa nikasikia nini lori, nikasikia lori imekuja na nguvu. Sasa hii Nissan dereva mwenye alikuwa anaendesha Nissan akasema huyu mwenye lori anataka kutua aje. Dakika kidogo nimeona hii lori imefinya Nissan chini. Mama mwingine akalia woi, huyu mtu anatua aje, tunapeleka watoto shule. Hii barabara itengenezwe.
Kosubkei ak kimnotet nekamiten barak nebo nyasutyonoton kong'emak karishek tuan, kit nekikochi biik chekamiten en matatu kobet sobet.
This head collision ilisababishwa, hii transit ilikuwa inaenda chini na imepatikana upande wa wale ambao wanaenda kuelekea juu. So we want to appeal the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Roads and Public Works. This accident has actually been something that we have always been witnessing along this highway. And we want to appeal the government of Kenya today, henceforth, kwamba hii njia hii irekebishwe. Tumesikia inawekwa budget kila wakati na tumekuwa tukishangaa itengenezwe.
Tulikuwa nafuata hiyo lori ilikuwa inakuja na mbio sana. Sasa hiyo lori alikuwa anajaribu kuepa hizo mashimo na kumbe alisharuhusu control. Na kama huyo alikuwa amekula miraa.
Chenye tunaomba bumps kwa hii barabara.
Mwae logoiwek kole kaitet nemiten barak nebo kiprutoinik chekamiten en matatu noton kong'eten komosta nebo Koru kotokyingei Kipsitet ak Awasi. Kachililen meet ketindetab lori noton komakakotenoshek alak tugul ole kamui kasarta nenwach kan kobit nyasutyonoton. Kakiborok bichoton kaibet sobet koba sipitalitab kot nekonoren muswek nebo sipitalitab St Vincent Hospital Muhoroni.
Hapa hakuna bumps na hilo malori zinatoka huku juu ikikuja na mbio sana zikiteremka huku chini. Tunaumia sana sasa sisi hata kama wenye wanapita hapa ama wenye watu wa magari ndogo ndogo. Malori zinakuwa side moja wenye gari ikienda na zingine zinateremka. Tunaumia sana kwa hii barabara. Hii barabara ni mbaya, sasa magari zinakimbia kombo. Hakuna utaratibu kwa hii barabara. Tunaomba watutengenezie barabara. Barabara ndio mbaya. Hakuna chenye inatusaidia kwa hii barabara.
Kakichut karishek choton tuan koba ketesietab polis nebo Kipsitet. Kasarta nekakotoi afisaekab ripsetab kalyet chikilisiet kotinygei ak nyasutyonoton. Kong'eten county nebo Kericho, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Robert Siele.
Katelelso boisionik chebo atkan tugul chebo somanet eng sukulitab Kiptobit Secondary eng Longisa Bomet East kangobokyi kipsomaniat agenge ne werit nebo Form 4 akoyeb kipsomaniat ne chepto eng karonetab betutab rani. Kaitita sigik chebo sukulinotok sukul ole kaimuch kosor lakwanatak akomut inendet kwa sipitalitab Longisa County Referral Hospital ole agoi nguni komite eng ole ng'oi sobenyi. Yarorwechi ng'oindo sirindenyo Festus Rono.
Kosubkei ak baorinik kokatil werotok ne kipsomaniat en sukulinoton bo Kiptobit Secondary nemiten en Bomet East kotumdaen korotik kipsomaniat ne chepto en karonetab rani ole kachutyi biikab emet akosor lakwanotok ole kakimut konyor konyoiset en sipitalitab Longisa Referral Hospital.
Tokaen asubuhi man kokanam kowokyolok saa moja akerwowo asibaitu sukul anyorte madam nerue tugul kokakeyeb lakwanikan so kangewokyi koloboti byut akolobotin Langat. So kangorwai bichoton kenyoru lakwet en ngweny kekonobu lakwet kimut sipitali. Korwai kimute sipitali lakwanoton
kokabit wakan nekaet mising nekaimuch kong'etech lagokab sukul nekangerwou ko kaki expecteni kele kalul karit en lam kobaten kangeitu sukul yu kenyorte lakwet nekakeeb kijanaat ingo en ebutiet nekaebak missing ne akoi nguni komi lakwanoton theatre en Longisa County Referral Hospital kotesetai konyoiset nekamakiboiboenchi ko ki meng'ikab Kiptobit yautyonoton ngamun kiwekwech community ako kikowechok sukulinik missing.
So kichuptoi ko ki meng'ikab Kiptobit yautyoni kayaak en asubuhi nebo ra. Kichuptoi kabisa ako sukulini komamiten any kora ribet nekararan en lagok ko noton nemoe kemwa. Kikeib report koba ministry, kikesir kikonyi failisiek tuguk chekikikoite ko ki sigikab Kiptobit lakini moib hatua ministry noton nekiko tabu en yu. Chebo fourth kora ko momi kit nekikere kele tesetai en yu. Kikwo ngweny ine ako somanet nemi Kiptobit yu ko momi kabisa somanet, u kele lagok tuten ine, nekit sukul tugul ko momong'u alo takonye bokol.
Kosubkei ak sigik kobun komosoton ko kikong'emak somanet en sukulinoton ole kamwa ichek kole kikotoi atebet kipsomaninik nemonyolu.
Amun kiptoyot nekoibe lakwani ko kikotoi chomyet lagochu en sukul. So lagokyok ko miten kikotoi choronok en sukul lagok chemomi ripset, momi security neyamat en sukulini. So lagochu choket ko kikotoi chomyet. Ngomi lagok sukul ko maribot ko mara komi chechutu kora chebo resop. Nekoibe ine lakwet komi twan sukul lakini kikotoi chomyet ak lakwani. So lagokab sukul ko momi somanet ine Kiptobit. So mwoe lagok kole kachut nyasi, aba ko nyasi man kakile kiketoi ole kiruen en sukul. So katebe ale watchman ko yoe ne? Yoe ne watchman komabire raon en sukul? Yoche ibire raon ikere kit neu kobutot ng'otwet. So ngotou lagok korue kochobe ele kiruen en sukul imiono. Komiono watchman. So sigikab Kiptobit ongeekun cheng'olole ak ongeeku cheyoe tuyet sikeker lagok chechon kosomondos.
Kakimuch keng'alal kora ak ofisaek cheechen en sipitalitab Longisa kondochin chief officer nebo tililindo Felix Lang'at akomwa kole momi ole ng'oi sobetab lakwanoton ole kamwa OCPD nebo Longisa Joseph Chesire kole tesetai kocheng'e werotok komwei ikangosuldaen yautyonotok.
Konyor kakotenosiek cheyach missing en komostanyin nebo katam Emet katit o kanyor kora kakotenet en eut nekaibwoti kele mara yome kosorgei keeb kora eut akonyor kora en batai. Kangoitu ko kamakomiten kamakomi ele kaikere kami ele kang'oi sobenyin. Ko kakishughulikanchi kinamen casualty ak kangeker kele makaran condition nenyin ketetaen inendet kwo theatre. Kangiit theatre ko kamokyingei takitariek chebo tabaka mbalimbali, kamokyingei daktariek chombo kibore general surgery, kamokyingei daktariek cheng'ololchin ng'alekab ENT tais boto ng'alekab katit, kamokyingei kora ng'alekab general surgeon asikeker kele kakisor sobenyin. So kaba takitariek choton theatre o kakishughulikanchi lakwanoton ko nguni keng'ololi ko kamong'u en theatre o kakimut kwo HDU high dependence unit ele tesetai konyoru konyoiset. Kit nekimoche kemwa en nguni kelele sobenyin ko kakomong en ele ng'oi o mi nguni chebore stable condition.
Kong'eten county nebo Bomet, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Festus Rono.
Katepsen County Assembly nebo Uasin Gishu eng betutab ranin nominee nebo Deputy Governor nekilewen Governor nebo Uasin Gishu Evans Kipruto Kapkea eng katorchinet nebo keker angot konyoljin ine boroinotok. Abit boroinotok eng anan boroindo eng ng'echeretab Deputy Governor eng County nebo Uasin Gishu kosubkei ak nekiistogei eng boisiet Deputy Governor Engineer John Barorot eng mwaet kole kinyor boisiet age eng emetab sang. Igenyi eng inguni Kapkea report kobun committee nebo appointment eng County Assembly notok asikonai angot kosirtoi bunge kainenyi anan eshoi. Yarorwech ngoindo Timothy Kiplimo.
But the cordial relationship should come up, will be there if we also serve the people.
Kakitepse Evans Kipruto Kapkea en County Assembly nebo Uasin Gishu en kasarta nebo saisiek 4 komache MCAs konai kit newendi kosuldoe en mornetab executive angot kosirto kainenyi. Kit nekamwa Kapkea kole wendi kotorchingei kakimitetab neranik ak kwonyik en county nitok.
My focus mainly will be on youth and youth empowerment and women, agriculture. I will work closely also with Department of Agriculture to come up with good programs and also the cooperatives. We are encouraging farmers, we are encouraging youth, we are encouraging women to join cooperatives, to join SACCOs.
Kaikimit kapkea kole angot konyor boroindo nebo koek rubeiwotab governor en county nebo Uasin Gishu kowendi kotoreti governor Chelelem en kasuldaetab toloiwek 10 chebo bandab tai chenootin ko nguzo 10 koboto kakimitetab tilyandit nemie en kwenutab kandoinatetab Chelelem ak assembly.
The cordial relationship will be there now that I'm crossing, but without compromising the service delivery, without compromising the powers and privileges of the county assembly, without compromising on what we are supposed to do as the executive.
Kosubkei ak speaker nebo county assembly nebo Uasin Gishu Kimngetich Muigai kotetaten inguni koba retreat members chebo committee netonondochin appointment en koyotok kotomo kokoito report en koyotok en kasitab aeng nebo wikit nenyoni.
So kakimuch kechikil rani betutab kwaeng kasi ak members chebo appointment committee. So members ichuto ko meje soko retreaten sipkwase report nangwai atye kwaeng kasi wiki nanyone kemuchi nyiketeboleni in the house atye kongalale MCAs Wednesday that is kosomok kasi kongetege saa 4.
Akoi lewenenyi koek rubeiwotab governor koko MCA Evans Kipruto Kapkea en ward nebo Tembelio en county nebo Uasin Gishu kit nekamwa alak en MCAs kole kotach en boiboiyet neo lewenenyi.
Kit name tugul as a surprise kimakinget lakini kilechini kongoi His Excellency the Governor amun notok ko kabarunet kele tinye kamangunet members of county assembly their potential and their ability to serve in that capacity.
Kwa sababu angat nile Kapkea kichinyo nyalunot chinyo kumandoe ak chinyo chemabiki ak chinyo performer uko egasi agebeben kile young people amu kager governor kile signi ketinga nafas ak nafas tinono kokonech kenyo deputy governor so sugwayak boisionik chebo vijana chomengechen choleane kileni kongoi governor amu kekonech Kapkea ak kestochini Kapkea kelechi neoboli metiyutie vijana ipkatka vijana kasishek chomoche keyoichi ak yoiwech kasi.
Kongeten kanaset nebo Eldoret en county nebo Uasin Gishu logoiwekab emet chebo Kass TV kanenyu ko Timothy Kiplimo.
Kagomange kibagengeitab kanetik nebo Kenya Union of Post Primary Education Teachers kupet mornet counties chebo Kericho, Bomet ak Narok agoisha kakwautit nekoib Secretary General nebo kupet eng emoni ak Kelo Missouri nebo koityin ak kibagengeit nesire kanetik eng boisiet nebo Teacher Service Commission kotelel kambaget eng mwaet kole moichi koshinet icheket ak membek chotok chebo National Governing Council chebo kupet. Kinyoru reports kobun Robert Sele.
Kong'ololjin sirikab logoiwek en taonitab Kericho kandoikab kibagengeitab kanetik nebo Kenya Union of Post Primary Education Teachers kupet en counties chebo Kericho, Bomet ak Narok kondochin Executive Secretary Mary Rotich nebo Kericho, Paul Kimeta nebo Bomet ak Charles Ng'eno nebo Narok koesha icheket tiletab Secretary General nebo Kupet en emoni ak Kelo Missouri nekoitelel kambagetab kanetik.
Kokinyoru ng'alechueb katononisietab strike en orogenet neo ngamun komakibwoti kele imuche koteken steps kou non our national office en iman ko kikakiyonjine kole yon kikure off strike ni kibo keker ke accessan kele ne nesiche mwalimu ne nekakisainen lakini kosainen ichek ki age tugul kityo
kobo tebot akotonosi strike neko chobot ko wane ngunon en Bomet ko kochob maandamano nebo koro akotinye police permit ako kochobotin kanetik ko kakimwa anyen ireu kele makou kit netam kouai boisionik makiyoni biik chumi Nairobi kotko kakotemenen kasit biikab Nairobi kobwa kakebe Nairobi yundo.
Kemwa kele maboiboi kanetik en strike nekokikolen amut kale kanetik procedure nekokisib kekoleni off strike komanoton. Kikimi Nairobi en Jumapili o kikimwa ko National Governing Council, the supreme organ of the union. Kemwa kele strike kotesta. Nguni kengolole kotokonyolu ami demonstration ko by yesterday evening ko kwatinye permit from the police and teachers had come.
Kosubkei ak afisaechoton komamiten amune neyamat ak koshinet neikosyinkei konetik nekoityin icheket ak kibagengeit nesire konetik nebo Teacher Service Commission.
So en iman komi tuguk chekokikere kele kanyolu ketesta kou yon kakomwa my colleagues. Number 1 ko kokikere kele ng'alekab CPG non kara kemwa promotion guidelines ko makosa neo nea ngamun tesetai kobure mwalimu en job group agenge anan oeng moite koit nebo 10 koite koritayaren ko kokinerektosi kele kotokireducen.
Ko kit nekimwoe mokemoche kinyokenyalil mwalimu amun mokikonech komie kele kiwektoitoi ano kasit. Nyosin koron ibore iker kora ko kakevictimize mwalimu. Kit age kora momiten kit nekokonech bichu kole kakobit chu ak chu. Kou konetik chekitinye ko kikobur en job group agenge en kenyisiek chechang.
Kosubkei ak Mrs. Rotich ko makat ketesta membaek chebo Governing Council chebo Kuppet en ng'alalenoton.
Mokiboiboi ko ki Kuppet, Kericho, Bomet ak Narok. Kakituyechi ireu kemwa kele makiyan ng'alechon koyayak ako konyasech. Bat ketesetai kokitore echek demonstration lang'at. Kotomo ot keit kaa kekose information en media en TV kole kakistopen strike. Mele makosa neo nea ki members chebo National Governing Council. Konyolu kisib kekonech information kele kakotwek TSC. Ako tuguk chekakoko 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Asikeker ak kemwoe kele ba kokakochobok.
Ko makiyan any en nwokindo. Makiyan ng'alekab Akelo Missouri ko tonosi strike ne kokakechopchigei ako ne kokakochobok konetik ko kokikere kele kinyoru makutikyok ak imanit nebo mwalimuisiek.
Kakon afisaechoton kamuisyetab koib kakwautik chenin asikeistoengei yautik chemakororon en kandoinatetab Kuppet en emoni en betusiek chebwone.
O kakikonu notice to the national office kelenji mokiyoni ng'alechon. We are going also back to the drawing board kemwa kele how do we go about it. Kikinam ng'alekab amendments of the constitution okikere kiyoyoi kora. This is part of the wider scheme. Komach kefrustrate mwalimu. Ko noniton nekakimwa kele echek kemwa ketil ak mwalimu ak kiborchi mwalimu kele nyolu keyochi manit. Kou yan kekas komwa kandoichu miyo komi ng'alekab JSS.
As branch officials ko kokifilen kele kabitene kabisa. Ako kakwautiet nekitekeni ko manguni ngamun kingen kele 2026 komi elections. So kimache kemuiten nguni ak keyai kasit lakini 2026 ko kokimwoe kele kerevisiteni ng'alechu ebichu.
Kong'eten county nebo Kericho, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Robert Siele.
Mitei President William Ruto eng emetab China ole kaimuch koyai ng'alalet eng betutab rani ak President nebo emetab China Xi Jinping ole kamwa President William Ruto kole tesetai emetab Kenya ak emetab China ak kakimitetab tilyandit nemie cheboto kakimitetab teksosiek ak ng'atatetab sectors cheterter eng emetab Kenya. Kamwa Ruto kora kole tokchingei kibagengeit notok nebo Africa oker kole kaimuch kobois kora ak emetab China eng ibunetab bandaptai eng continent nebo Africa.
It is an occasion, Your Excellency, to thank you also for convening FOCAC, the all-important forum that brings China and Africa together. It is also an important opportunity for Kenya-China Comprehensive Partnership Agreement, a strategic partnership that is based on a people-to-people engagement framed on programs that are mutually beneficial between our two countries and based on mutual respect and trust. Your Excellency, let me commend your leadership of the South-South cooperation that brings together many developing countries, and to specifically point out the relationship between Kenya and China. As you know, Your Excellency, I was here last year for the BRI summit. And I want to thank you for the conclusion of the program on Kenya's rural roads, the intelligence transport system that has now been concluded, and the progress that has been made on our technical vocational equipment program, Bosta Dam, the Nairobi Northern Bypass, and the Muthaiga Kiambu bypass programs that have already, we've made very good progress, and hopefully we should be able to conclude.
Tetant Kotestain Texeta projects Cheba Suguli Shega Chebara Boys, Chebara Girls, Chebara Polytechnic, Kaptomut Primary, Chigigi Telel, Enganishik Tamanaga, Engi Hosirta, Engoret Netomagi Nai Aguinguni. The Shishata go Kogitoy, Ko Oretsap compensation, Gobun Sergan Lego Sukaga, Ko Chetnegi Mingija, Tagoita, Maranata, Quai Asigo Tech Inet, No Nelita Bek, Neba Chebaradam, Koiti City, Neba Eldoret. Can you report Gobun Andrew Kimeto?
Eng taunetab ke nebo kenyini kokikon ngatutiet President nebo emoni Dr. William Ruto koityi kibagengeitab NYS kowong teksetab korik chebo sukulishekab Chebara Boys, Chebara Girls, Chebara Polytechnic, Chebara Primary ak Kaptomut Primary chemite Marakwet West chekikitoi eng kenyisiek 12 kosirto ako maimuch kotestai sukulishechoto. Eng wikit nekosirtoi kokibor rirek membayatab bunge kobun komosata Timothy Kipchumba nebo kongong serikali amune asimatestai kibagengenoto bo NYS ak teksosiekab sukulishoto nganda kikon president ngatutionoto.
These projects have stalled for the last 12 years since they were constructed. We have 6 institutions that have not been completed. That is Kaptomut Primary, we have Chebara Primary, we have Chebara Boys High School, we have Chebara Girls, we have a chapel, a church that was not completed, we have Chebara Polytechnic, which was not completed.
Kosubkei ak rirechoto kokoyok department nebo planning and urban development nebo emoni contractor nelel newendi kosuldoe kawangunetab teksetab sukulishechoto.
We thank sincerely the President for the directive he gave to the State Department of Housing so that this project are completed timely. We are aware that NYS was given a directive, but due to challenges, as a country, we are under tight fiscal space. They were unable to finish, and we believe that under the Housing Fund levy, it will be able to, the State Department of Housing will be able to complete this project once and for all.
Kaibor boiboiyeng'wai kandoik kobun komosata kondochini Governor Wesley Rotich ak membayanato akobor kamang'unet neo kole wendi kosuldoi teksonoto kuye kikayamis president eng taunetab ke nebo kenyini.
We want to really appreciate the president that even the gesture alone to say he's going to finish these projects is not a mean feat. I have worked with the State Department of Housing and I know what they can do. I am really very confident that if they go with this speed that they have used today and what they have promised us here today, I think in the next few weeks we should be seeing a lot of good work. As leaders from this region, as leaders from this county, I think it will be our happiest moment when the president will launch this project. We are looking at a closure that these institutions, we have really been calling for the completion of the same. And I believe that when the time comes, when this project will be completed, we shall celebrate as the people of this constituency.
Kasom kandoichoto contractor inoto kotoi boisionoto ing chokchinet.
I want to urge the new contractor, the State Department of Housing, that they expedite, because if you look at entire community, this community has lost their water entirely. If you look at this place, they cannot even do irrigation. They have no water even in their houses. But they actually sacrifice their only resource. The only resource in this community is the Chebara Dam, which is actually supplying a city. So today we are sleeping with our shoes on and celebrating. We want to thank also our area MCA and our governor for passing our message to the president. And finally, we want to thank the president also for listening to our problem.
Kongete county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Andrew Kimeto.
Kangomange alak eng sigik ang mengikab county nebo Kericho akoboiboenji kakwautiet nekoib koityin kibagengeit nesire kanetik nebo Teacher Service Commission ak nebo Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers Kupet ak kiitlet kangelelchinetab boisiet nebo kanetik eng mwaet kole kokowech somanet eng sukulishek ak kokochi icheket kaiweisiet neo. Kinyoru report kobun Robert Sele.
Kong'ololchin ketishani en oret ne inegen komwa alak en sigik en county nebo Kericho kondochin Richard Mutai kobun bunge la mwananchi en county noton kole koek piret en sigik ang keliljetab boisiet neotesentai kanetik chemiten en kibagengeitab Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers Kupet en emoni.
Ko kakoinam raini kinet lagok. Shida kityo nekobit kabisa, chito nekonyor shida ko chito nekikuren sigindet ak lakwet. Ndamun for the last 1 week ko makinet lakwet, kilobotote kityo en sukul, mamiten chi neneti. Sigindet oino ko kokiwek lagok alak. Ko kongewek lagok alak kotinye shida sigik nguni kewekta kora lagok koba sukul ndamun en kakokochin bichu.
Amwoe kongoi amun kakowek lagok sukul. Amwoini serikali kora asikotoret biik chemoityingei ng'alekab school fees. Ko kongoi mami ng'olyonotesyini. Ki nekimwoe kityo ko ngamun echek biik alak kou ot ane mama ko ami ngweny ot akane atinye lagok chemotindoi kora sigindet.
Kosubkei ak meng'ichoton ko makat en serikalitab emoni kobun kibagengeit nesire kanetik nebo Teacher Service Commission ak nebo Kupet kong'ololchin en kasarwek alak asikeistoengei yautik cheweche somanet.
Amache next time ong'et en TSC ak Kupet komatobor ng'alekab kimnotet notinye, kimoche oboru ng'alekab chomyet ak ole kikuitoigei en kwa haraka en ng'alekab meset. Nibuch chon kibwone kila kebwone strike kebwone barabara asikobit kokas biik keng'alal ko oret nemonoton.
Ko amache abaibai mising en ng'alalet nekong'alal en amut. Amache awekyi kongoi ak amache anyamwochi bichuton tugul alenji Kupet ak en TSC ndatokoyookse kit neu ni besho komatotobakakwech lagok koseretyo osibotoboten ak kong'ololchine. Koik boiboiyenyun nanda kong'eten amut komi lagok chekokiyon kobwa gaa. Ko en yon ko kaumian sigindet ak lakwet ako komalo kora mising ko kikokiyon lagok kingokait sukul kobo kowek lagok gaa kemoche fees.
Kabor kora icheket kaimetabgei kosubkei ak tetutiet nelel nebo lipanetab school fees en sukulishekab barak ole kamach serikali kochikil tetutyonoton asimanyor asenet ak biret sigik kobun lipanetab rabisiek chemiten barak.
Model non kilipanen rabisiekab university ko kot kisub konyoru lakwet age sugul en haki angot kisub kou yenyolu kisub. Ndamun the first model non band 1 kobo biik en vulnerable families. So ndakisubi kou noton ak kenaman kele kinoitoito ano chito nemiten ngweny ireu kot kenai kele sereti. Ko kot kisub kou noton konsomon lakwet age tugul. Lakini angot komiten kora kipng'ulng'ulit chekebune taban yun asikobit kinde band 1 lakweng'ung ako kemuchi ko noton wendi sikobut.
Neu ane for example ko atinye lakwet nemi Kabianga ako ngwany ami band 4 na banata ako a chito nemi ngweny. Kimi tabu neo mising ko kisigik. Makimuchi alak kelipan yon ngot kotokomi kit age neimukokse kotoretech oboswe rabinik chu en university.
Kong'eten county nebo Kericho logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Robert Siele.
Kakokoito kurset kibagengeitab Kenya Tea Development Agency eng kabatikab chai koker kole kabut chaik cheititotin asikotoret eng naptaetab kororonindo nebo chaik chemokotin eng siret nebo ematunwekab sang. Kamwa nebo ng'echeret eng kibagengeit notok bo KTDA Enos Njeru kole chaik chekibute keboisie mashinishek komaitchini kororonindo nemakat ole kacher kabatik koker kole kabut chaik chenyalu eng kasarwek tugul. Kong'alali ine igorta nebo kanetisiet anan induction nebo directors bokol somok chebo KTDA chekokilewen eng konekit.
The issue of machinery plucking also compromise the issue of quality. We also urge our farmers also to exercise care when plucking with machinery. Hand picking mostly is the one that gives the best quality, and then we urge our farmers also to look at that. And there also the issue of handling. Tea handling. When we pluck tea and then we put a lot of tea in one basket, sometimes that issue of handling it compromises quality because when a leaf breaks, it releases to the air a lot of chemicals that also affect its taste when it goes to the market. So certain issues that we are committed to sensitize our farmers so as to look at them when handling, when plucking, and even getting these teas to our factories. This will improve our quality mainly. What I can say is this year we have received high volumes of tea, one mostly because of favorable weather and availability of fertilizer. We saw that in the month of January, February and March there was a lot of rain and farmers were applying this fertilizer. 3 months to close of the year, financial year, April, May, June. This is when we received a lot of crop, which compared to last year, there was an increase of between 51 million and 52 there compared to last year of main tea. So this crop is the one that mainly increased our stocks. And we can also say that due to ban of DSOs, this also affected our stock. So the sales, the teas that we release through DSOs, we can say they also increased our stock. But so far, you heard some people say that we have 100 million of kgs of unsold tea. But mainly what we've done so far, right now we are hitting about 40 million of sales. So from that 100, we've sold about almost 40 million. And we are very optimistic by end of September, we will have moved a lot of tea. And by the time we pay our farmers bonus by mid-October, I believe we will have gotten enough revenue to pay these farmers.
Last year, when we characterized as a subsector, they had done 266 million. And the endorsement for this year is 319 million kilos. That means if you check the contribution value, the GDP is high. And again, the money that will go to the pockets of the farmers again is high compared to last year. And that's to say work has been done. The only teething issues is in terms of the production, which I can say there was a surplus globally. If you rank what we call the global supply, is an endorsement of 392 million, which was in surplus globally. When it comes to national wise, we normally play with around 60 million kilos.
Kamite barak rirek angwanindo kobun familia nebo labatindet Rebecca Cheptengei nebunu emetab Uganda nemwaat kele kibelchi ne chamanenyi eng oretab mat eng terchinoshek chekibit kobun mbaret nemwaat kele kial labatindet notok eng komosta nebo Endebess kit nekiityi kobit terchinoshek chekiib kaimutyo notok.
Kosubkei ak kanyoik cheboisie eng sipitalitab MTRH kondochin acting CEO Dr. Owen Menach komwoe kole kinyor kakotunoshek cheyach mising labatindet notok bunu emetab Uganda Rebecca Cheptegei nekikibel inendet ak mwaita notok nebo petrol, chi nemwaat kele chamanenyi ole kakotunet nekinyor ko kebeberta 18 netieme kanyoik kosor sobenyi.
This is the major referral hospital in Western Kenya, all the way serving many countries from many counties, actually about 23 counties, including neighboring countries like Uganda, South Sudan, sometimes to DR Congo. So yesterday we received a 29-year-old lady who is a high-profile patient in quite critical condition and was already admitted in ICU, is intubated, fully sedated because of the extent of the burns, which is about 80%, including inhalation of burns. For the medical people, that's quite intensive. So she's really on full support in terms of fluids, in terms of medication, blood products and other technologies. We do have adequate supplies within the hospital. We also do have enough pharmaceutical medications, and our specialists are here with us, and they are all on duty, including the nursing team who are standing behind me here.
Kamwa kanyoichotok kole maimuch kong'ong akobo ole uu eng nguni kakotonosiek bo Cheptegei kobate tiegei sobenyi kakiletabgei notok nebo konyoik eng sipitalit notok kebeberta notok nebo ICU. Mwaat kele nganda kisulda yautyonotok chichotok kokimuch konamat akine ole kinyor kakotonosiek kebeberta 30 ako mamite ole ng'oi mising sobenyi ngiyonyi notok nebo Rebecca Cheptegei.
So the two patients that we received, much as they are critical, we are doing all the best that we can to get the best outcome for both of them.
Kobun kwaninyi Joseph Cheptegei ko kimite terchinet eng kwenutab lakwenyi ak werotok mwae kole kimakotinyegei tilyandit age tugul kobate kimi terchinet notok nebo mbaret nekikaal Rebecca eng komasta nebo Endebess eng county nebo Trans Nzoia.
Wakati huu ni kusikitika zaidi kuona ya kwamba msichana yangu ambayo ninategemea kwa mambo mingi na nisaidia kwa watoto shule, lakini sasa hali vile iko naona moyoni mwangu kulia, kwa sababu ni mambo ambayo sikuona wakati wengine, mambo ya unyama kama hii.
Kimite Rebecca Cheptegei eng labatet notok nebo 10,000 meters eng urerioshek chotok chekiwangei eng konekit eng emet notok nebo Paris, France, ole kilabotyin emetab Uganda.
Huyu msichana yangu baba ya watoto hako Uganda, kwa sababu huko ndio ilikuwa kwake. Harakati sasa vile walikuja huku ndio sasa sijui tunasema nini, hali ya wa mama ndio akawa na huyu rafiki. Ni rafiki tu, lakini msichana mume wake ako Uganda, baba ya watoto hawa.
Kong'eteke nganaset no nebo Eldoret eng county nebo Uasin Gishu, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Isaac Kogei.
Chitab Kalenjin nga kitukchotok kaimetab logoiwek chok chebo emet kakemuch kebun kong'ete studio nebo Kass TV. Kongoi mising aboroindo nekaikonech logoiwekab emet. Kikurena Jacqueline Arusei ak amakun kembout nekararan.
Kupata KCB mobile loan bonyeza *522# au tumia KCB app leo. KCB for people for better. Sheria na masharti kutumika. Inadhibitiwa na Benki Kuu ya Kenya.